welcome to my channel. For those of you that are new in my channel, my name is Fatima, and for those of you that have been following me throughout my journey, I want to thank all of you for supporting me. Today I want to continue talking about how I deal with stress, anxieties, and panic attacks. It is something that it is important to me, and I have noticed that there's a lot of people out there that are experiencing the same problem that I am experiencing, and that people just don't talk about it. And I want to talk about it. I want to help out my friends and loved ones that are dealing with the same problems. And I want people out there to know what we deal with every single day, of especially people that have this chronic disease that are dealing with every single day. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is how I deal with it. It is an every day I deal with this problem. There's days that I am happy, like I say. There's days that that I'm happy, but not like 100% happy. I mean, I could be happy, but then it could just turn, and then I could be sad. I mean, it's just it could be just the littlest thing that can make me sad. You know, it fluctuates. I could be happy for a while, but then I could be sad if I hear something, or, you know, which I don't like to hear any news, anything that, you know, that is bad. It bothers me a lot. I dwell on it, and then it just gets me to a point where I stress about it. So guys, what I am going to, I put a list here of things that I do so that I don't forget anything of what I do to make some of these symptoms go away. Okay, the first one is I take medication. Now, when I have a really bad anxiety attack, guys, I have a medication that I've noticed that it really helps within minutes. I mean, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and you're calm and you're okay. The way I get anxieties is, guys, I could be asleep, you know, just asleep, you know, relaxed, asleep, and then all of a sudden wake up with my heart rushing, and being so nervous, where it rushes up my diabetes too. My diabetes goes up. One time I was almost at 400, which 400 is a lot for people that have diabetes. You can get a heart attack with the 400. You can be in a coma. I mean, anything could happen to you when you have your diabetes as high as I get when I get an anxiety attack. So guys, the first thing that I try to do is try to relax and try to relax to see if I can deal with the anxiety instead of taking medication. Because if we take medication for everything, you guys know that there's consequences, that you're covering up your problem, but then you're making your other parts, your organs, by taking a lot of medication, you're putting your organs at risk. And as me having diabetes, I try to do what I can first to be able to take care of the problem. And if I see that it's getting worse and it's not getting better, guys, what I take is called lorazepam. Guys, this medication, for some reason, they don't want to give it. They gave it to me in the hospital when I've gone to the hospital before, when I didn't have this medication. They gave me this medication, and it calmed me down within, I want to say seconds, but I think it's within 2 minutes to 3 minutes. It calms you down where you just don't feel anything anymore. I have a really low dosage, but every time that I ask for it, before, not now, because now I'm so advanced that they give it to me, but then they know that I only take it when it's necessary and it's not all the time. So I have those pills for when those days that I just cannot deal with my anxieties. It's not the stress, it's the anxiety part, the panic attacks. Those are the ones that are very, very hard to handle. And like I say, it shoots up my, because I'm dealing with a lot. When I get the anxieties and the panic attacks, first, I think I'm dying, so it makes me more nervous. Second, it shoots up my diabetes up to close to 400s, let's say, from anywhere from the 300s to 400s. It varies. Also, it shoots up because I get nervous. It shoots up my blood pressure. So I'm dealing with various things at once, and I feel like I'm about to die. So that medication, guys, if anybody out there has bad panic attacks and bad anxieties, but I think more they look at is the panic attacks. Ask your doctor for lorazepam and see if they will give it to you in a low dosage, because they say that it's an addictive drug, but since I take it only when I cannot handle it, because there's panic attacks that I'm able to calm down, and there's other ones that I just cannot, and those are the ones that I used to go to the hospital for. Okay, so that right there takes care of my problem of when I have the panic attacks. By taking that medication right there, it calms me down within 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so another thing that I've learned, that I know everybody knows what bothers them. I know what bothers me. Somebody else knows what bothers them, and one of the things that really bothers me is hearing the news. You know, the news is, for people that don't have this disease, it's good to know what goes on in the world. But me, it's not good. It just makes me really, really sick. So I've learned that news is something that is not good for me, and I rather not know. But there is people out there, like even family members, that know that news bothers me, but yet they tell me what is going on. And especially like my mom, she doesn't understand that, because she says, you got to know what goes on in the world, things that are going on. Why do I want to know what goes on in the world when I have my own problems, and when knowing about killings and things like that bother me? Why should I have to deal with all of that when I can't even deal with my own emotions and my own problems? So that's one of the things that I prefer not to hear, is bad news. Anything that goes on in the world, earthquakes, anything, killings, any of that, I just don't want to know. I know that our world, it has a lot of problems, a lot of issues, a lot of bad things that go on in the world, but I'm just one person, and if I could resolve our world's problems, believe me, I would do it. I would risk my life to do that, but I can't, and I'm only one person, and I can't do anything. So why am I going to put my life at risk if it won't do any good? So I would prefer not to hear about anything that goes on in the world. My third one is when I get a panic attack, and it's not a bad one, and I am feeling really stressed out, where I feel like I can't even stand myself, I can't stand anybody. What I do is I try to listen to like music that really makes me happy. And then I also, if I'm not in the mood, because there's times that my anxiety level and panic attack level is so high that I don't want to hear a lot of noise. So what I do is I that won't benefit by me listening to music. So what I do is I get something that interests me on YouTube. For example, a love story, something that I can concentrate on, that it's beautiful, and I concentrate so much that I try to block out what I'm feeling, my heart rushing, feeling in my stomach that something bad is going to happen, a lot of nerves. Sometimes I am so nervous that I feel like I'm trembling of nervousness, and it's coming for no reason, no apparent reason. It's just that my nerves are so shocked from everything that I've gone through in my life that it's something that I just can't control. Another thing is there's times like when I'm feeling especially stressed out that I don't want to see anybody. It's best for me to be by myself. That's how I deal with my stress. Be by myself. And I always try to concentrate on something that makes me happy, which a good movie makes me happy. Something about love. I mean, I don't want to deal with hatred. I don't want to deal. I like to watch a lot of Christmas movies too. That's something that makes me feel really, really good about, love and Christmas and presents. And not because I want presents and not because I want to buy presents, but it's just the thing of giving and seeing how people are happy, that I concentrate on that and try to block out what I'm feeling. That's the only way that I'm able to get along, deal with not get along, but deal with my problems. Guys, another thing too that I've decided to do these stress videos is yesterday, it was Sunday, the 25th of September, and I went to church. Church, guys, too, is a place that I like to go, a place that I feel safe, a place that I can ask God and ask Him to help me, a place that I can meditate and feel good about being in church, hearing God's word, which, guys, if you don't believe in God or whatever, I am not putting my beliefs or my religion on anyone, but I do want to say something that caught my eye, that I'm going to say a story, but it's something that on our sermon that it was the topic of yesterday, but I'm going to say it on my own way, guys, so that you guys can understand, and then I'll explain what I got from this story. It's a story about Lazaro, which is, I guess it's going to be called Lazaro or Lazaro. I don't know how to say it too much in English, but it's about a man, and this was in church, and that I haven't stopped listening to it. And guys, I have a lot of issues on concentrating, and it's hard. Sometimes I go to church and I come out with hardly not understanding anything. But yesterday, thank God, for the first time, well, maybe not the very first time, but for the very first, I believe like it's the very first time that I actually understood exactly what this scripture was about. Guys, it's about Lazaro, and it was a man. I'm going to talk about exactly how I got it, and I'm going to relay it the way I got it. Okay, it's a story about a rich guy, and this guy was rich. Now, Lazaro was a guy that was homeless. He was homeless. He didn't have a place to live. He did not have any food. He did not have no food. He was hungry. He had a lot of sores in his legs and feet. And the dogs would pass by because he was just sitting there on the front of that rich man's gate. and on the outside of that rich man's gate, sitting there. And, he couldn't get up. He was sick. He didn't have much energy because of the fact that he didn't eat. So, this he had the sores, and the dogs were just licking his sores. That's how bad he was. And this rich man had plenty of food, and the scraps, good food. Instead of giving it to Lazaro, he gave it to the dogs. And I understand. I mean, our dogs need to eat too, but he could have shared the scraps too with. If he didn't want to give the good food, he could have shared the scraps with Lazaro, and or the leftovers. He could have gave it to Lazaro, and he wouldn't be hungry. Well, this rich guy comes in and out of his gate, in and out, and the priest said that sometimes he probably could have stepped over him sometimes, but he just didn't deal with it. He didn't see the man. He didn't care about the man. He just didn't help the man. Nothing. He just passed by and ignored the man. Well, the day came that God came and got Lazaro and took him up to heaven. And he went straight to heaven. With all the suffering that he did, he went up to heaven. And he didn't steal. He didn't do anything. He was a good man, but he just was homeless, and he didn't have no food, no nothing. So guys, this rich guy came to his day when he died, and they got to heaven, and he said, well, I think they both got to heaven. To heaven, where he got to, because we have, as we know on the scriptures, we have our judgment day. And so when we die, we go up to heaven, and we're up there, and Saint Pedro, he is going to listen to he's going to tell us all the good and all the bad that we've done, and what we need to pay, before we get to heaven. Well, they both, I guess that the way I understood it, they both got to heaven at the same time, but went straight to Saint Peter or Pedro. Went both of them, and he right away, Lazaro went to heaven. With no doubt, he went straight to heaven. But this rich guy, he did not go to heaven, and he went to hell. And he was asking Saint Pedro, he goes, well, why is he going to heaven and I'm going to hell? Why? And if I helped people too. And then Pedro said, well, you help your family, but that's all you help is your family. You don't help anybody else. You've seen this poor man that was just laying there, that he had sores. You didn't go and get him help. You didn't take him to the hospital. You didn't give him food knowing that he didn't eat for days. You had a big house. You were rich. You had all these riches. You had money. You had everything. And you had a big house, and you didn't take him in your home. So you didn't do good in your life. You helped your family, sure, because it was your family, but that was it. You overlooked everything else, that you needed to look. And as we know, when we go to church and when we know our beliefs that we are supposed to help when we see someone that is in need, we're supposed to give them a helping hand. So I started thinking, and even though too, guys, when I see homeless people, I don't know, and it's not my problem, but I see homeless people, I give them whatever I feel that I could give to them. If they are using the money for bad, that's on them. If they're going to drink or take drugs or whatever, that's on them. I gave them that money for them to eat. One day, I'll never forget, guys. That's why, like I said, I tried to do good, but sometimes people are bad, and then you start thinking that, hey, you want to help them, but yet you don't know if you're really helping them or not, because some people really don't need the help, but yet they take the chances out of the people that really, really need the help. And one day, I'll never forget, guys, I went to McDonald's with my husband, and we and my two kids. We went to McDonald's. This was when they were little. And there was a guy with, as we were going out the driveway, there was a guy that was homeless, saying that he, was homeless and that he was hungry. And we had 2 hamburgers that we didn't eat. So we stopped and we gave him the 2 hamburgers. We didn't give him money. We gave him 2 hamburgers because he said he was hungry. So we said, okay, so we went inside. This was before COVID hit. My kids were small, like I said. So we didn't even know about COVID and about all these things that you can't give now and all, because of COVID. But, back then there was no COVID. Anyway, so we gave him because he said he was hungry. We had 2 hamburgers that we hadn't ate, and we were taking them home. And we stopped and we gave him the 2 hamburgers. As we were going out, my husband was looking at the, I was looking at him, to see what he was going to do with the hamburgers, if he was eating or not. Well, before we left, he opened him up to say that he was hungry, and he took 2 bites out of one hamburger. Out of one hamburger, he took 2 bites, and the other hamburger and a half, he threw it to his dog. Well, he had one of those pit bulls, and man, that dog was as fat can be, because he was asking for that he was hungry. So a lot of people might, just give him, and especially being there at McDonald's and you're getting out, some people, if you're hungry, people will just stop and give him food. Well, that's not what he wanted. He wanted was money. So, guys, and that's because, it makes me think that out there is bad people that are just trying to get a dollar without working, or trying to use it for other bad reasons. But like I say, when you say you're hungry, you out of the kindness of your heart, you give them what you have, and yet they do what they do with the food, and that really made me think quite a bit. But still, when I see that as a person that, because there's young kids that are out there, and they can work, but when they're like old, or I see that they, some people don't have a leg or something like that, then I do stop and I do give them what I have of money. So, guys, that's something that I want to relay back, is that, I try to help people. I try, like these videos. You're not the only one. I want everybody to know, people that are feeling the same thing as me. You're not the only one. And I'm letting you guys know what helps me when I'm in those types of crises. What helps me. I want to relay back. I want to help. I want to be Lazaro. I want to be the guy that, which I'm a girl, but I'm just relaying. I don't want you guys to think I want to be a guy. No, I'm just saying I want to be Lazaro. I want to be that person that, instead of saying guy, I should have said that person that is going to go straight to heaven. I don't want to go to hell. Oh, and before that, the rich guy that was in hell, he was down there and he was telling St. Peter, he goes, I need some water because here in hell it is so hot. It is hot, and he needed to drink, and he needed, some cooling because it's so hot down there, and he wanted to do good after he was there. He wanted his family. Of course, everybody loves their family, but we also need to love each other. We need to love, one another. We need to help one another whenever we are struggling, whenever we are, when we see a homeless person, when we, have plenty of clothes that we don't use. But they say that it's not all thrift shops that you take it to. You're supposed to take it to hospice. That's what helps the people. The thrift stores, they sometimes you don't know where that money goes. That's what I was told in in church. The hospice is what really helps, because if they sell, it's going to the people that are really sick, people that have a lot of, like people that have cancer, things like that. So that's where you should be taking your clothes to, not any thrift store that sometimes they make money and you don't know where that money goes to. But hospice is supposed to be going for people that are, with cancer, people that are sick. So that's what we were told in church, to do that. God wants us to do good deeds, and I'm trying to do my good deed. I'm trying to help people. I've struggled all my life, basically almost all my life, with anxieties and stress. And I want to let people know that, you shouldn't be embarrassed, that if you have this problem. But we all know what, some of us, we have this problem of stress and anxieties. Most of our problems, guys, come from money, seeing that we have a lot of debt and all of that. But guys, try to, if it's about money, try to take it one day at a time. Try not to rush. Try not to be stressed about it. And try to, do your savings like we are, budgeting. Try to budget. Try to do anything that you can to, and take it one day at a time. And try to put as much as you can into your debt. Also, what helped me all my life is always grab your smallest debt. Get that one paid. Also, if you can do a, what do they call it? If you can put, for example, that's another help right there. If you can put your debt into a, oh Lord, I can't think of the name now. Into a, for example, if you have small debts, like 200, 300, or 400, it's good to just get all those three. And let's say that your Visa, or you can get a loan, and you can get that and pay those three, because by the time you go and pay here, pay there, you can't see, because you're just putting little here, little there, and a little on those three debts. But if you condense, it's almost like condensing, where you put it together into a one, I knew the name, guys, but right now my head is just not, it's 6:30 in the morning, my head is just not there. But if you can put it into one debt, into one, either put it into, do a balance transfer, that's what it's called, into a balance transfer. If you have a credit card, put it into a balance transfer and use all those three money that you used to put for those three debts. And if you have a little bit over, and put it into the Visa, and try to just grab one debt instead of doing all three. I've done that too, and it really has worked. I haven't done it recently, because right now, I don't need, I only have one Visa, and everything goes into it. And like you guys know, I just do one lump sum and doing my challenges to do that. But if you're paying interest here, there, and 3 or 4 spots, it's always better to do a balance transfer and get it into one, or get a loan and just pay one debt, one interest, and put as much as you can into that debt and get that debt paid off. And if you don't want to do that, it's always best to start with the smallest one and make the minimum payments on the other ones, and make a lump sum on whatever you have left over onto the smaller debt, and get that smaller one out of the way. And when you get that one out of the way, work yourself into the next one, and then the money that you use for this one, put it into the next one that goes into it, and extra, like put the one that you put the debt, the minimum that you were doing on this one, plus the minimum on that one, and then when you pay this one off, get it into everything, both into that other one, until you're able to pay it off. And then just work it like that, and it really does work. I've taught a couple of my friends. That's going to be another story, but I taught a couple of my friends that were really struggling, and they had a lot of debt, and I've taught them what worked for me. I let them know, and they did it, and today they're doing really well. But I will tell you that story later on about that too. But right now, because I want you guys to know, I'm going to do my part by helping you guys, you're not the only one. If you feel embarrassed that you have stress, anxieties, panic attacks, don't be embarrassed. This is just a disease. If you know what the problem is, if you take care of the problem, then you won't have that anymore. But me, it's already hereditary, and it's something that, sure, I have a lot of things that bother me, but and I'm trying to work from it, but at least I've already learned how to manage my stress level. And also, don't, sometimes I feel like right now I'm going through a state that, guys, it's really bad. It's really bad where I am talking like really loud to my family, and they, I am Portuguese, guys. I'm Portuguese, and Portuguese people talk really loud. But I think I'm talking a little bit more louder, that they sometimes think, because of me having the anxieties and wanting them to listen to me, what I am saying, that I say it in a bad way, where I am talking a little bit louder. And one of the things that make me more, and I've already told my family, but they don't understand, and I'm always explaining myself, I am not yelling. I want them to know I'm not yelling, you guys, and I am just I have my anxieties, and when I feel that they are not listening to me, it feels like I'm bringing everything that I have inside, like, listen to me, this is what I'm saying. I have a word here. Listen to me. And then I talk really loud, and they are always saying, you're always yelling. You're always yelling. And I'm not yelling, but they don't understand, guys. And it makes me more agitated. It makes me more anxious. It makes me more like I'm done. Like I'm done. I just want to be by myself. I'm done. And I, on Sunday, I kept on hearing that same over and over and over. You just yell instead of saying something. You're yelling at me, and I'm not. It's just me, and I tell them all the time, don't you guys understand? I have a problem. You guys have to understand I'm not yelling. You guys have to understand I have anxieties. I have, I rush through. I talk loud. I'm a talker. I talk really loud. I try right now not to talk so loud, but I talk really loud. And but they just don't understand it, and it's hard to make people understand what you're feeling. And I guess when you're so upset and you feel that people are not listening, like my family that are not listening to what I'm telling them, it makes me more anxious, and it makes me more upset, because they're telling me that I'm yelling when I'm not yelling. So yesterday I got to a point where, like, okay, I got so fed up that I told them, I says, well, if you guys think that I'm yelling, and if I bother you guys so much, well, then I just want to be by myself. I'd rather move in by myself. And I used to have a problem years ago where I just wanted to be by myself and move by myself. And like I said, it's nothing that has to do so much with family as it is with me. And I just wanted to be by myself in a home by myself. And that went away for quite a long time, where, okay, I got over that part. It was just months and maybe years that I just wanted to be by myself, live by myself, be by myself. And because of my husband and my family, I love them, but there's times that I just can't stand them, and I can't stand people. So I just need to be by myself. And so, right now, yesterday, I got that same feeling again, even though I went to church, and even though that, but hearing people that don't understand you, and even family members that don't understand you, that they're always, mocking you, like saying you're yelling, and I am not yelling. It's just they don't understand, and it makes me more agitated. And I'm like, okay, so if I bother you guys so much, then this was the first time in a long time that I'm like, I just want to be by myself. I'm done with you guys. I just want to be by myself. I just want to live by myself, where I don't bother you guys and you guys don't bother me. So we got to that point where sometimes it just takes one little thing to make me go overboard. And I'm at that point where, I have to get more control on the situations that come up. But I blow really easy. I really blow easy, and it's not a good thing to blow. But I do blow very, very easy. But like I said, I try sometimes to help even my own family when they're going through something. But me saying, you know, because it's like I relive things. So it's like I'm talking to people, but I'm reliving it. And so sometimes things come out like in a hatred type of way, but it's not, I don't mean it that way. It's just like I'm talking to the person, but I'm reliving everything that I'm going through. Like right now, I'm talking to you guys, and I can feel like a tightness all over my body, and I can, I feel like I'm a little bit lightheaded, and I feel like it's hard for me to breathe because every time I say something, it bothers me. It bothers me. But I want to be, like I said, I want to be like Lazaro. I want to help people. I want to be like Lazaro, that I want to help people because I want to end up going to heaven. You know, if I die, I want to go to heaven. I don't want to go to hell because, you know, living here in this beautiful world, I love this beautiful world. It's the people that are destroying everything. But I don't want to live, in other words, what I'm going through, sometimes I feel like it's hell. And I don't want to live here, hell, and live in heaven. You know, instead of going to heaven, go to hell. I don't want that. So I just want to help. And if I could help 2 or 3 people, then I will do it. If I have to put my self and relive things and be sweating, like right now I'm just sweating. If I have to do all that to help a couple people, you know, I will. I will do it. I will do it. And because like I said, someday I want to end up being in heaven, not go to hell. So, you know, this is my story, guys. It's something that I wanted to let you guys know, that sometimes if we see someone that is really hurting and that is really, you know, that are hungry, you know, whether or not they do whatever they do with their, if you give them food or you give them money, whatever they do with it, it's their business, but you're doing it as to be a good gesture. So I've decided that if I go out, I don't go out a lot, but if I ever go out and I see someone that is in need, I am going to, if I have food or whatever, I'm going to give them food or money, whatever I have, I'm going to give them. And if they choose to do whatever they choose to do with it, it's their problem. I did it as a good gesture, thinking that they were hungry, and that I want to be able to, because I don't want someone to be like Lazaro or him. I mean, be like one of God's people that he sends down here, and trying to see what will I do, and me overlook that. And then when my time comes to go to San Pedro, I don't want him to say, you know what, you overlooked that. And it's never too late, guys, for us to start, you know, and be good, you know, and try to do good deeds. It's never too late. You know, it's God sees that it's never too late, that we are here to help one another. And I want to help people. I've always did, and I want to. And if I can help someone, and by telling people, you know, this is a sickness, but guys, you're not the only one. And a lot of people are in the same position as you. And and then I got a comment, guys, that I want to address too. That I got a comment saying if I sleep, guys, there is times that I don't sleep a lot. I go to bed really, really late. Sometimes I go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. I get up sometimes when I'm in the, well, I do it because I start thinking about my son working all day and not having nothing to eat. So I get up and I do his lunch most of the time. I mean, it's only been a couple times that I wasn't able to do it. But most of the time, even if I feel sick, I get up, because there's times I feel really dizzy and I don't feel good. But I get up and I make my son, because the other one, my older son, he has already his girl, so she's the one that does lunch for him. But I still make the lunch for my smaller son, David. And so I get up and make him food, and then I can't go back to sleep. And then I watch you guys' YouTube, videos, YouTube channels. And So until I feel like I'm getting sleepy, and then sometimes I go to sleep. Like today, I couldn't go to sleep, so I haven't slept since I went to bed. I think at today's Monday, to make sure today's Monday, the 26th, and I of September, and I went to bed late. I think I went to bed about close to 1, and got up at 4:30, made my son's lunch, and haven't slept ever since. And right now it's about close to 7, thinking right now because of the sun starting to come out. So, and it's already day. So I'm thinking about 7 o'clock, and I haven't slept yet. And at 10 o'clock, I have a doctor's appointment, which is going to be over the phone. And again, I have to relive things because they want to know, how I felt, how I'm feeling. They always ask me, which I don't know why. I mean, I know it's because I have a severe problem, but, they're always asking me if I feel like, any suicidal thoughts. And it could be because of the medications that I take. Excuse me. It could be the medications that I take that they want to know. But, it makes me mad too that they do that, because I've told them I fight to live, not to die. So I don't know why they do that, but that kind of pisses me off a little bit too. And it's going to come to a point where I'm going to tell them, I've already told you guys I don't want to, I don't have no suicidal thoughts, so please stop asking me that, because that's one of the things that pisses me off, because it's all the time they ask me the same thing over and over and over. And no, I don't have it, and no, do I want, I fight to live, not to die. So guys, I want you guys to do the same thing. And like I said, I'm here. I have an Instagram account, or an Instagram, I think it's called account. I don't even know. But Instagram, I have an Instagram. So guys, you can reach me if you don't want to comment and say anything on the comments. You could reach me on Instagram if you want to know anything, or you need some help. I am here to help anyone, or to answer any questions that you have. And if you have, please comment. And if you have questions and you like what the content that I'm bringing, I am going to be bringing budgeting, because like I said, I am also budgeting. I also need to save money. I also need to start getting like I said, I want to finish my goal for this year, which is pay my visa, and then continue with that goal for the coming year, and to put money in the bank for when that visa starts going high. I will have money already in the bank for that. As of right now, I don't, but I am going to, I'm doing my 100 envelope challenge, which that one is going to be designated for next year to put away, and then continue from there with other challenges, and put money away for, for my taxes. I'm trying to do my taxes, and, and put up my, my sinking funds, my emergency, and all that. So we're going to be working hard this year, this coming year, plus finishing this year, to do as much as I can to prove to myself. That's why I have this budgeting channel. It's to prove to myself that I can do it. And guys, I have so many topics that I would like to show you guys. I've already lost a business, in my lifetime. So we'll talk about different things that, how stress came about. But I do want to talk about stress, because as some comments I got is that a lot of people have anxieties and stress and all of that. But guys, we will, work together and try to help out each other. And if you have a family member or a friend that that are having anxieties and panic attacks, go visit them, tell them that you care, that if they need help, to talk, that you're there for them. If they have a problem, that you could listen, and if you could help, or give them some advice, because it's always good, do that good deed and give them some advice. If you see, that someone needs an advice to make their life a little bit better, if they comment something and tell you something, help them. Don't just listen and not comment, because sometimes we listen, but, we have our own opinion, our own ideas, and those ideas could help them out. So you guys just, help out each other. Let's just help out each other, and we will get through this. And or if we don't get through it, but at least we will, help out each other to make our anxieties and stress levels and panic attacks come down. So what I do that helps me, I relate back so you guys can try it out. And maybe if you guys do something, maybe you need to relay on the comments so everybody can read the comments and get some ideas too. And maybe it will work. By working together, maybe we can help out each other. So guys, that is going to be all that I have for today, and we will continue. Like I said, every so often we will continue talking about anxieties. I do want to, do this more because, there is a lot of people out there that have that, and hopefully people will listen to my channel and try to get some ideas. But guys, I do know, and I've heard a lot of people, that stress can come from a lot that has to do with debt and money problems. So guys, if it is money problems, let's work together and let's watch our budgeting channels, and let's see what everybody is doing, and let's try whatever works for you to do it, and let's try to get those our debt controlled so that we don't have to be stressing about any of this stuff. So guys, we will see you guys on the next video. Goodbye.